I don't like Liv Morgan. I think she's very annoying. I don't like Sarah. Well, Sarah Logan, I wish I could just see more of in the ring, but I feel like Ruby Riott is destined for stardom.
Um, Ruby Riott had a lot. And by the way, we're back live on Twitch. Took us 2 seconds,
Okay,
so we're good.
good. Good.
Ruby Riott, yeah, she's really. I actually really like her look. She's one of the more unique uh, women on the roster. The only one that was really even close was Paige, and even then, she's not. That's not really even that close. So,
Do you think they're going to turn Ruby Riott into a new age Paige?
uh,
Is that the kind of their goal? Is that how they're positioning her as a replacement Paige?
kinda. I don't want to see her get like all glammed up though. Like I don't
She's
think
kind
she
of already
will.
there. Like she's already been kind of
I
glammed
mean, a
up.
little bit. I don't. I hope she stays kind of different. You know what I mean? Like she's not quite as glammed up as Paige got. You know, she went the whole Total Divas route and all that. But
God, Paige, just there's so much lipstick on Paige. It's really distracting.
yeah, and the eye makeup and all that. So
Distracting. And Liv Morgan, like she puts so much eyeshadow on, her tongue is blue for some reason. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
But anyway, Ruby Riott gets the win. We get no mention. They were talking the entire match. The commentary team talking about Sasha Banks and what
Yep.
the friendship is like, and then there's no follow through on that. So
Right.
uh, then we kick off the show, which is probably the match of the night to start the whole damn show. As the Intercontinental Championship on the line, Seth Rollins defending the Raw middle card, mid card championship against SmackDown's Miz.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of knew how this was going to pan out because the IC belt was going to stay on Raw.
Right.
Still, match of the night to kick things off. I still had a problem with this, but overall, enjoyable match except for the ending. I don't know, man. Like Miz hit Rollins with what, 2 or 3 skull crushing finales.
Yeah.
Yet one stomp from Rollins and Miz is unconscious.
Well, we're kind of in this day and age where finishers don't matter as much, so you're seeing
That
a lot of
sucks.
you're seeing a lot of that. So, you know, it wasn't a bad match. If anything, it
That was great.
almost one of the better matches, if not the best match of the night.
It was by far my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you on that. I didn't think anything else really topped it. So,
Again, a big crowd response for Miz. I think the crowd's the crowd. I mean, Miz is supposed to be the heel, but the crowd is appreciating and respecting Miz, which is something he's deserved for quite some time now.
right.
So, but yeah, Seth retains, and he's
As he
the
should.
commentary team just kept saying he's the hottest. He's just so hot. Oh my god, he's so hot. He's the hottest.
And they continued that on Raw. He's the
Yes.
hottest wrestler on the roster.
But we get it.
There's a lot of flame references. A lot of things are burning down.
Well, I'm glad he got rid of the flame tights. I thought those were ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm glad he went back to.
Well, he had the Tron like tights. That's what I called.
I
this
like
outfit.
those.
Yeah,
I like those.
I was digging this one. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we got to Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Yep.
So far, it's a co-branded show with, I guess, 2.5 Raw matches already. This match is also not good. It was kind of a continuation from WrestleMania, how Alexa just trying to take the legs out from under her
Right.
and all
I feel
that.
like Alexa got more offense in this match, though.
I'd say so.
Yeah, and so the one thing I would say, if there's anything about this match, it felt like a better complete match than WrestleMania's did. But like you said, it felt more of like a complete, just continuation. It just felt like what WrestleMania really should have been. Because WrestleMania was pretty short. That match, anyway, not the pay-per-view.
I really liked the DDT on the stairs. That was a cool, innovative maneuver from Alexa to take down the irresistible force.
Right.
But Nia Jax wins. I think she won again with that Samoan drop, which is apparently the most devastating move in women's wrestling right now.
I guess so.
And then cut one of the worst promos ever. And I don't pin this on her at all.
Right.
I don't pin this reeked of corporate saying you say these words, and it felt this was a motivational speak, and this was propaganda to push the Be a Star anti-bullying campaign. That really depressed me because
Right.
it really comes off as, instead of rewarding someone working hard in the ring and giving her a belt, which I know what they're doing,
Sure.
but it's a secondary priority to, hey, we need to push this anti-bullying thing now.
Yeah, it felt very, very scripted. Which
this was forced. Yeah,
very forced, very scripted. Good message behind it all. I'm 100% on board with all that. Sure. The anti-bullying, and again, In no way, shape, or form do we condone bullying or anything, but this definitely felt forced and scripted. It could have been that could have waited till Monday night, or it was really a weird spot for it. It really was.
They're just taking a weird way of putting this over, like, because she's just out there, be a star, like who you are.
Right.
You are a good person. I'm like, holy shit! Like, and the crowd was booing this thing too. So the crowd in New Jersey was booing this as well because they knew, like, oh, this is being forced down my throat. I don't want this.
Well, I thought Roman Reigns was the only thing forced down my throat.
Exactly. So yeah, this promo sucked.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I love Nia Jax. I think she should hold this belt for quite some time.
Sure.
I love what she does for the company. I love what she does in the ring. I love what she's doing character-wise. It's just this promo sucked, and it's not her fault. This is corporate.
Right. Yeah. Everything seemed pretty on board with, what we thought was going to happen in this match as far as the ending. And like you said, it just felt a little forced. And Nia Jax going forward is probably just going to be made to be looked at as, like you said, an irresistible force, that immovable object. There's nobody else in the women's division that really matches up to her as far as her height and her size. So I think they're kind of just priming her maybe for a confrontation with like Ronda Rousey at some point. That's the way it kind of looks, but who knows?
Or whenever they call up what's her name, Shayna Baszler.
Oh boy,
I'm the greatest wrestler forever.
Oh boy.
God, I can't. She's ruined now for me, because every time I see her now, I think of that when she just yelled that up the ramp at TakeOver, I'm the best wrestler forever. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, we don't want to get me started, because it's my first show back in a month, and I want to be positive, Jeff.
You want to be salty?
I don't want to be salty, and I'm salty with Shayna Baszler. I'm not a fan.
They signed the rest of the that four horsewomen group is now in development right now. So
right. Okay.
The influx of the UFC fighters, they're coming.
It's coming.
I believe next was the U.S. Championship, Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
I don't remember a damn thing about this match at all.
No, just a match that could have happened on SmackDown. Jeff Hardy retains. That's enough, I guess.
But boy, this could have been used. I mean, okay, I like Randy Orton. I like Jeff Hardy. Forgettable match. This should have not have been Randy Orton. I understand it was his belt and he lost it. I get it.
Yeah.
But he lost it to Jinder. So this isn't really a rematch clause.
So he's just getting the rematch, and Jeff agreed to it, or as the kind of the way they pitched it, right?
But this should be their young talent. Why is this not Ty Dillinger? Why is this not? Okay, Baron Corbin left. I'm trying to think who's still on SmackDown. Why is this not Andrade Cien Almas? Why is this not...
Right. Well, Shelton Benjamin talked...
Shelton Benjamin, exactly, yeah. Why is this not somebody that we haven't seen? Why is this not... Okay, I said Chad Gable. He's not there anymore. Shit.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting who's not there.
They hit their roster pretty good, but, like you said, it just didn't feel... It felt kind of like I don't know, like you said, just a random match put on SmackDown.
Yeah, this one, it wasn't shit. It wasn't great. It was just meh.
Yep.
Was then the Women's SmackDown Championship?
I think something like that.
We'll just see what we know. Charlotte and Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So let me get this straight. At WrestleMania, Charlotte can beat Asuka clean.
Yep. Yes.
And end the streak.
Yes.
She loses to Carmella.
Yes, because she does the moonsault off the top rope, lands on her leg, supposedly tweaks the left knee, so Carmella rolls her up with a very over-the-top pin, and I guess that was enough.
What is it about this pay-per-view? What is it about knees?
I have no idea.
Because Seth was selling his leg.
Yep. Seth should sell the knee. I mean, he went through a shit ton.
Yeah, he did.
But, having Charlotte... the knee didn't buckle. She didn't make it look like it buckled. She just kind of landed and just picked it up, and so okay, she tweaked it. We'll go with that. But then
is there a shoot injury though? Is there a shoot injury that's preventing her from being a champion right now? Take some time off, maybe.
I don't think so. I think this was just the time that they're like, okay, Carmella's had this long enough where they're gonna give her some time with the belt.
Well, I agree that Carmella should have won this. My problem was how.
Oh, sure.
Beating Charlotte clean. I kind of liked the idea of the chicken shit, grab your belt and go, or DQ yourself kind of deal. Like
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
been okay with that
Get
because you
yourself
want to
counted
build
out.
this. You want to build it your top heel. Because there really is no top SmackDown Women's heel right now. Because Asuka should be the heel, but the people are cheering her
She's
obviously.
clean, and she's kind of teaming up with Becky Lynch and Charlotte against Carmella and the Iconics right now.
Yeah, which I love the Iconics. I love
Yeah, I do too.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. They're going to be phenomenal. But yeah, this match, and Carmella knows like 4 moves. She knows the
Right.
kick, she knows the code of silence, she knows a submission hold, and she knows screaming.
Yeah.
And I couldn't handle it, dude. I had to turn. I was on the iPad. I was playing games. I turned the iPad down. I said, no, I ain't gonna do this.
Well, and then the thing with me though is when you have a wrestler, we can talk about, John Cena, 5 moves of doom, Hulk Hogan, 5 moves of doom, whatever. But when you have a wrestler and you don't even know what their finishing move is, then I'm like, okay, so I don't even know what I'm looking out for. Like,
Yeah, I was just thinking, does she have one? I mean, the code of
don't
silence I
know.
thought was her finisher, the submission hold,
maybe,
which is just an illegal choke, I guess, but I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, this was bad. But again, I think Carmella should have won because you got to build up this baby face or this build up this heel now that she actually has the belt and
Right.
make that briefcase mean something.
right.
But yeah, I didn't like the way he did it. But I'm just a fan.
Yeah,
I'm just a wrestling fan who just went, that kind of sucked.
sure.
Then we got to, I think, Daniel Bryan and Big Cass.
Big case.
Actually, not a bad match, I thought.
I didn't think it was
For two guys
terrible.
that are coming back off of serious injuries, Daniel Bryan's first singles match in quite some time, Big
Right.
Cass's first match in quite some time. I didn't mind this. It wasn't great again, and Big Cass did a lot of fist in the air and
Right.
yeah, okay, I get it. You're a heel. I understand what's happening here.
Right.
The Big Cass is just generic big man at this point.
He is, right? Which is kind of, it got to the point in this match where people were chanting, "We want Enzo,"
That struck me as like, you don't.
and then there was the return chant of "No, we don't."
Yeah.
But the fact that they're chanting, "We want Enzo," to a crowd while Big Cass is up. Big Cass was pretty over for the most part. But he wasn't. It just shows that without Enzo, he's pretty generic. They don't really have a whole lot to work with there. And I know Vince likes him, and he's big, and I
And dude can talk. Big Cass can cut a promo.
it's all there. They pitched this as size versus skill.
Sure.
I found that interesting.
Yeah.
So I know Daniel Bryan has skill, but are we saying that Cass doesn't, or is it just more we're just focusing on the size?
I think we're focusing on the size. And I think it's because Big Cass is still it's kind of green as far as the main roster is concerned.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I think what I would love for them to do is now that when they did the split between Enzo and Cass, like do more of a split with Cass. Do more of a oh god, I just screwed up my freaking Facebook live stream. Sorry, y'all. Do more of a split with. Oh, now I've did it.
What'd you do?
I fixed it. Do more of a split. Like make him a whole new character.
Sure.
And I think I go to one of my favorite wrestling groups here on YouTube is New Legacy Inc. They made him become the Dawn, and they made him like the Godfather. I would love that if they made him like the big bad boss.
Right.
Like that'd be cool. Like make him the Italian mob boss. I would love that.
Sure. Yeah, because wrestling's starting to get some more over the top characters again.
Yeah.
What's old is now new again. You're starting to get like Elias, for example.
Best part of the we'll get on this. Best part of the entire night was when the stuff with Elias. So.
I thought that segment was absolutely hilarious. It was the only segment where I genuinely had a legit reaction that was positive.
Yeah.
Other than Seth and Miz, and even then, like it wasn't their best work, but
Sure.
no, I Big Cass needs something.
Yeah.
He needs something. They changed up his music a little bit. It's tweaked again. He's got some gear with the Statue of Liberty on it, but it's just overly generic overall. And and Daniel Bryan carried the match for the most part, and the beat down after the match leaves Bryan with the win, but Cass walking strong after. So
yeah, because I remember we were all thinking like, okay, now we're gonna get into Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, Daniel Bryan versus Shelton Benjamin, Daniel Bryan versus Amos on the roster.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, we're still going with Big Cass. Great.
Yep.
Plus, they should probably change Big Cass's name because every time I see the graphic for Backlash, it just says Big C Ass.
Yes.
It's just, and then if you film it just right, on the Titantron, it just says Big Ass. I'm like,
right.
Really? No one's thinking about this.
And the thing is he was calling Cassidy. So if you don't, Big Cass that's the best we can go with. And the only reason that he was really Big Cass because it was Enzo and Big Cass.
Yeah.
Before it was really Enzo and Big Cass, it was Colin Cassidy.
Yeah.
Not saying you should go with that name, but they should change something there.
Don't make him Big Ass.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Elias stuff. So.
Okay.
So we did the opening, and for the record, I freaking love Elias.
I do too.
I think he's one of the best things in wrestling, and I wish he would actually wrestle more.
They gave him quite a bit of time.
Yeah, this was big. So Elias comes out, does his usual spiel. I love the talking about Bruce Springsteen because he's in New Jersey and all that stuff.
Right.
And he does if you'll keep doing that, I'll just leave. And then he stands there and just puts 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And the crowd goes, boo, yay, boo, yay. And it was actually really cool.
Yep.
So he sat back down, started playing. New Day comes out, and with Big E on the bass drum, and obviously Xavier with the trombone, Kofi with some cymbals, which is one of the loudest things you can play as a percussionist. Let me tell you that. They say, hey, well, it's cross-brand. Let's do a concert. Bringing together musical acts.
Right.
Elias shoos them away, starts playing. Aiden English warms up the pipes.
Yep.
Of course, the crowd pops huge because they all start chanting Rusev Day, Rusev Day.
Right.
Which brings out Rusev. Yep. Pretty funny promo from Rusev, calling people a knockoff Bob Dylan and and the Booty Boys. I think Rusev's having fun. You can tell Rusev is enjoying this.
Yeah, Rusev's having a little more fun with this current run than he's had in a while. I would agree with that.
Rusev Day is over and merch is flying off the shelves.
It is. Yep.
So once he shoos away Rusev, then comes out No Way Jose.
Yep.
Which was fantastic, dude. I love No Way Jose. Put that out there. I love No Way Jose. And he brings out the conga line, which does include Titus Worldwide, which includes who's the back end? Another tag to the back. Breezango is coming in dancing. Yep. I was laughing my ass off because here comes Titus and Apollo can't dance, and Dana Brooke flashed. I shouldn't say flashed. Dana Brooke quickly was on screen.
Yes.
And then Breezango in the back doing their thing, which was hilarious.
Right.
So stops the conga line. One more time, Elias does the opening. Jojo, you know what to do. And then during that intro, Glorious hits. Bobby Roode comes out. Glorious DDT, and then Bobby Roode just starts twerking.
I'm like, okay, so they just took him the Triple H and Stephanie route and let him just kind of make a fool of himself for a second.
Pretty much.
I was okay with that.
Bobby Roode's a clown. I love it.
Yep.
Like this whole segment was great. It was kind of long, but this whole segment, top to bottom, was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a longer segment. I was, in the grand scheme of things and looking back, I'm surprised they gave this segment as much time as they did, but it was a way to get all those people who are stars that aren't on the show. Unfortunately, let's just hope that's not the way they're going to do it every single time, because there's other things. They could have thrown another match in there, for example. But it's actually a really cool promo. We could have seen the Bludgeon Brothers. We could have seen. Well, Elias could have had a match. Elias and Bobby Roode. They've been feuding, I think, for the past week or so on Raw, so they could have had a match. But in lieu of a match, you let me see Breezango. I can see No Way Jose. I can see Rusev, and that's always good. Yep. Hi, Rayanne. Welcome to the Facebook Live stream. That was cool. That was a nice little segment. Because again, the more Elias on my screen, the better. Right. And then you put in people who I love, like No Way Jose and Bobby Roode and all that. Because Bobby Roode deserves better than what he's getting right now. So hopefully this puts a little kick in the step of Bobby Roode. Yep.
What other matches were there? We got to so then we got to the tag team match, the Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. This match was fine, I guess. Look, here's your weekly reminder that Braun Strowman is the best thing in professional wrestling. Period. The end. Outside of Cody Rhodes.
Right.
But Braun Strowman is the best thing in wrestling. And they're putting Bobby Lashley in here because people may not know who Bobby Lashley is. Lashley wasn't really irrelevant in WWE for at least 5 or 6 years at this point. So now putting Bobby Lashley, who is a monster, with the monster among men makes total sense. But again, this match felt like it had no direction.
Right. This match was kind of thrown together at the last second too, I think.
I believe you're right. Yeah. I do love the spot though, because I think they did it on Raw and they did it again on Backlash, where Braun would just run around the ring and just cross-check Kevin Owens, who went flying. I thought that was great.
Right.
But the ending was always, and Bobby Lashley again just proving that he can still go. I like Bobby Lashley. People kind of crap on me for saying that, but I like Bobby Lashley a lot. The ending comes when you can see the fragile friendship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Sure.
So you have to imagine the blow-off is coming here. They're going to split, and they're going to have their feud. So Sami throws Kevin into the ring, who eats... I think he ate the suplex from Bobby Lashley. Then he got the pin on Kevin Owens, but the commentator is saying, I don't think he was the legal man. Because he wasn't. I mean, let's be real here. Sami Zayn was the legal man, but they pinned Kevin Owens. Everyone knew it. So they tried to explain it away. And then Sami came in. Sami got thrown into the ring and got these hands.
Yep.
It was just a really weird. And I sat there going, "What was the point of that match?"
Right.
No. I mean, I think the story that advanced is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, their friendship deteriorating.
Yeah, and I don't.
What does that do with? But more importantly, what does that do for Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley?
Well, and I think that's a temporary fix as a Band-Aid to what their situation is, because last night on Raw, Braun Strowman qualifies for the Money in the Bank match.
Right.
So just a temporary fix, I think, for them in the meantime. But it will. Only time will show. I think Bobby Lashley, I don't know what they're kind of doing with him. He's kind of in a weird phase right now where they're kind of, is he going to be used right? Is he just being used as kind of like my assumption would be him and Braun were going to go head to head to determine who is going to face Brock. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
That still might happen. I mean, I think right now what they're doing is they're just saying, hey kids, that people who may not know Bobby Lashley is, let's put him in some tag matches just to kind of get him familiarized with this WWE crowd.
Right.
Which I totally get. Like, if they're going to do it right.
Right. I agree.
Because people may think of Bobby Lashley as the end of ECW at December to Dismember, at the worst WWE produced pay-per-view of all time.
Sure.
I watched that thing live. I paid for that thing. And that was... Actually, no, I take it back. My best friend that I went to his house and watched it, we all just sat there and went, that's it? Okay. Refund.
But isn't it odd? Because that's almost how I felt about this show.
Yeah. But didn't run short. I wish it would have ran short. It ran long. Because, so after that match happened, then we got to the main event. I think this is all the matches, right?
Well, we got AJ and Shinsuke.
Oh, right. Thank you. AJ Shinsuke.
Yep.
Duh, I forgot about that. Okay, so after this match.
Which was probably... That could have been the match of the night outside the finish. I mean, it was a really good match. This was their... Of the trilogy, this has been their best match. This was... For the first portion of it, was their best match. Yeah.
I will say, I was happy when they turned Shinsuke. I'm happy that they turned Shinsuke, because this Shinsuke is good Shinsuke.
Sure.
I love his new music, by the way.
Yes, me too.
I do think it's hard to talk for the commentators. I think the music level was kind of too loud because it's kind of hard to hear the commentators over the song. But
right.
I love his new getup. I love his new attitude. I love his new music. But So this angle is all based around just attacking the dick. And
Yeah,
I think this angle could really work in Japan. This match, top front to back, could have worked in Japan.
sure.
Like this had a really good New Japan feel to it because it's kind of goofy.
Right.
I'm not saying New Japan's goofy. I'm just saying that
No,
it's a
but
different style over there. That this would have worked a lot better over there. I think.
right. Agreed.
It does not work here. But again, the highlight of the match, Shinsuke is coming in for a Kinshasa. AJ throws the chair at Shinsuke's leg, and it bounces back in AJ's face,
Yes.
and a big gash on AJ's cheek.
Yes.
But still, they prove that AJ is the best in the world at what he does,
Agreed.
and Shinsuke is a perfect foil for him.
Yep.
So we got of course, we saw the Shinsuke with the low blow,
Yep.
then AJ with his low blow,
Yep.
and then more low blows, and then the finish comes with both men just football
They just
punting,
winding up. Yeah.
and football punting each other right in the dick,
Yep.
and then cannot answer the 10 count.
At the same time. Yep.
So,
And it's a
and
no
again,
DQ match.
right,
So
I
it's all
think
legal.
the issue is that the 10 count thing is still a viable rule in this no DQ match. I think the issue's not that the issue's not the rule. The issue is that
Right.
that's the finish.
Yes. I agree.
They're turning this dream match into a nightmare scenario.
Well, to kind of go on top of that as well, the other thing I was thinking of is you have a dream match. I mean, how many times do you know off the top of your head how many times they'd wrestle in Japan? Just is it
A lot. I mean,
Okay.
that Wrestle Kingdom match is still their best match.
right?
they've had.
Right. But so WWE
Maybe
totes
not
this.
a lot. Maybe a handful of times, I assume.
WWE totes this as the number as a dream match, and now we've gotten 3 in a month's time. Okay, so I can let's oversee let's whatever it is what it is. I would even have been okay if it was AJ wins one, Shinsuke wins one, and then like you have your third. Okay. But then you get AJ who wins one, you get WrestleMania Part 2 at the Greatest Royal Rumble. And then you have this match which ends in a draw, well, or essentially no contest, whatever.
Yeah.
Because each of them did a dick kick, and there's a lot of dick things going on in pro wrestling right now.
Ask Joey Ryan.
Yeah. So each of them do that. They fall over, can't answer the 10 count, and people are like just losing their minds because this great match has this kind of ending. And on one hand, you kind of have this, you've never seen a finish like this, but is it really the finish you wanted?
No.
You know what I mean? Right.
You just felt the air just kind of get sucked out of the arena. Like the fans just sat there and went, "What the was that?"
Well, we were all chatting. We all were kind of just like, "What?"
Yeah, it just kept feeling really weird. Like this.
Yeah.
Like, why was that the finish? I understand, like you're, like that the moment of Shinsuke at WrestleMania, the undercutting of AJ turning heel, that's a WrestleMania moment. That's something you can definitely rally an angle around. I get that.
Yep.
And I understand why they went to that in the match time and time again.
Sure.
That should not be your finish.
No. Well, the thing is it's a double kick. They both end, and the thing is, not only is it the finish, but now where do you go from here?
Right.
So are we getting part 4?
Like, do we want a part 4 already?
Right. And that was kind of my point at the beginning, too, is we're getting this match probably recycled again. Is there some sort of stipulation on top of the no DQ now? Is it, because we got Money in the Bank coming up. So are they going to make it a ladder match? I wouldn't imagine.
Or will they stretch it out to SummerSlam?
Right. Or, I was assuming Samoa Joe, not really a segue, but Samoa Joe was going to be inserted into this title picture. And still could be.
Yeah, he totally could be, because he was... Because him and AJ had a match on SmackDown last week for the championship, wasn't it?
No, he came out in a promo and said he was coming for AJ
Okay.
this week after his match with Roman.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, they should go with AJ Samoa Joe. That's great. That's got money written all over it. It had money written all in TNA.
Yeah. It was TNA 2003, and it had money all over it. So
yeah.
I mean, I'd be okay with the three of them even going at each other, but at this point, you're essentially saying that AJ Shinsuke is unfinished,
right? Because we got one win for AJ and then 2 no contests. And I think they're just kind of treading water until the next big pay-per-view, until the next big angle.
Sure.
Because they got no one to the build up AJ right now.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. This match was really good until the very end.
And confusing ending. It just left a weird taste in my mouth, kind of like I didn't know how to feel. I was like, oh, it was a really good match. I just don't know how to feel about the finish. It was a unique finish, but it would have been one thing to see, like, I don't know, Elias and Bobby Roode have that kind of finish. There's no title on the line with those two right now. It continues a feud, but you have a title on the line. It's a no DQ match. People are like, what? It's just weird finish. Wasn't what I was hoping for, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So now Look, I love AJ Styles. He's the best guy. He's the best wrestler in the business.
Right.
Shinsuke Nakamura is having a resurgence as a heel. Love it.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
I just want a complete good match.
Yep. Same man.
All right.
Last match,
because of course it was Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns. Everybody knew exactly what was going to happen in this match.
Yep.
And it did.
Yep.
And it sucked.
Yep. It happened.
And you know what's bad. You know what's bad when Dave the Watchman, for those of you who are longtime viewers.
Yep.
Dave wasn't even watching this point. He said he turned it off.
Yeah, he said he turned it off after AJ Shinsuke.
And I wish I would have as well. But if he called it, he messaged us on Facebook and said, I bet I know what's going to happen, and then laid out basically the end of that match.
Yeah.
If the Watchmen can sit there and book a Roman Reigns match, something is wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't give a shit anymore. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I mean, I understand that Roman Reigns had to win this match. Roman Reigns had to win this match after what happened at Mania and the Greatest Royal Rumble. I get it.
You know what? And I would have even argued that he didn't continue the Roman Reigns losing feud, the losing angle. He's losing, you know what I mean? Like, he's losing confidence in himself.
Sure, and then some existential crisis.
You know,
and then he also, by the way, put over Samoa Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
And make him a credible threat to the championship when him and AJ go at it. But
right. Yep.
What the hell am I thinking?
Yeah, and I mean, I love Samoa Joe. I when I was predicting the match, I was like, I hope Samoa Joe comes out and just picks him apart even before the bell rings, which he did. But the fact
that was great.
Yeah, but the match just went on as Dave said. We all kind of just knew that's the way it was going to go on. Dave predicted it, almost move to move. Yeah. And it was the part of the match that was the best was from when Samoa Joe attacked Roman Reigns to the part where the bell rang. And then after that, it was cookie cutter.
Yep. It's a basic Roman Reigns match, and people left. People were leaving the Prudential Center. Probably because, I mean, twofold. A, it's a Roman Reigns match.
Yep.
So you know what's going to happen.
Right.
B, it's a Sunday night, and it was probably, 11:30 at that point?
Yeah, at that point, the match was ending around 11:30, so...
Yeah, people were leaving before the match was done because kids have school.
Well, yeah, and then you got to think, too, like... We know you put this match at the end, so you know Roman's going to win, okay? On the off chance that he doesn't, I mean, you'd be surprised, but everybody knows he's going to win because he's being forced on a throw. He's essentially, they're playing him like they played early John Cena. The boos, the cheers, he wins a lot, the very few wrestling moves. At one point, Jeff, even you tried to say it's not Roman's fault. And I was kind of on board with you then. It's not Roman's fault. But at the longer it's gone on, I don't know where else to go with this. It's not just his fault, but yeah, the fact is it's a wordy sentence, but there was backlash on Backlash pay-per-view.
Yeah.
People didn't like this pay-per-view. I
mean, you can book somebody strong. Look at Bill Goldberg. Yep. You can look at somebody like Bill Goldberg. Dude cannot cut a great promo, but was fun to watch in the ring. Was just squashing people left and right. Was getting wins and wins and wins.
And even he evolved slightly over time.
Right. He adapted his character.
Right.
You can take someone who can win time and time and time again,
right,
and someone you want to have your face at the company, and make it so people don't hate him.
Yes.
It can be done, and right now people hate Roman Reigns. I'm off. Like at this point, like it's like I'm now officially sick of it. Roman Reigns, the dude. Probably aside of the whole like drug test.
Sure.
Fiasco.
Yes. Yep.
I'm sure stand-up dude.
Yeah.
Like John Cena, one of the best human beings walking the earth, except to Nikki Bella.
Yeah. Which we might get to find out more about that.
I know Nikki Bella's.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm done with Roman Reigns. Yeah. I don't care anymore. I don't care if you put him and Seth and Dean back together. I don't care anymore.
No,
like I'm done.
I don't think you do, and I don't think you should. At this point, he cut the way he even cut a promo last night on Raw. It sounded heel like.
Turn him heel.
Only way that you do any saving grace at this point is turn him heel and let him be heel. Just let him go full 100% heel. What you should have done with John Cena years ago. Just let him go full heel at this point. Now, with that said, surprisingly enough, he did not win a qualifying match last night on Raw for the Money in the Bank contract.
Someone else did.
Yeah. Yep. Finn Balor won, but it also set up a Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns feud. Who would have thought that Roman Reigns is gonna be the next one to try to hinder the Jinder? So,
he's gonna squash Jinder, but I want to see. I want to see. Look, the more I see Jinder, I like Jinder.
Me
okay,
too.
Like he's swayed me. Like we sat there when you won the championship. We're going, what the? Why Jinder Mahal?
We all were like, what the hell?
But he's winning me over.
A year later, we're on board.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Jinder Mahal.
Same here. Same here.
So I'm okay. I mean, again, he's there as a prop for Roman to just step on it.
At this point, yeah.
At this point.
My assumption is he gets back in the Money in the Bank match because last night on Raw, Roman loses. Jinder wants a qualifying match. Kurt Angle doesn't give him one. So my assumption is it's going to be Roman versus Jinder to get in.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, just because Roman didn't win the Money in the Bank qualifier match, we are not out of the woods yet.
Right.
We are far from out of the woods on this. He will still be the next Universal Champion at some point.
Agreed.
So, and of course, if someone cashes in, they'll get squashed by Roman Reigns as well.
Agreed.
So so this Money in the Bank will be nothing again.
I agree.
God damn. So do we have a list of who's in basically right now? Because both men and women have their shots. Braun's in, Finn's in.
Finn Balor, Braun Strowman are the two men so far in, and then Ember Moon on the women's side. Okay. And then on SmackDown Watch, I'm not really watching as closely since we don't have a third. It kind of took me away from it a little bit. But if I just refresh my phone here and I swipe up, The Miz defeats Jeff Hardy to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank match. So The Miz is also in.
Ooh, could they be pushing Miz from IC glory to perhaps WWE? I would. How good would a Miz AJ Styles feud be?
Yep, I'd be okay with that because people for example, last SmackDown last week, people were like, "Well, it was a pretty bad SmackDown outside of Miz on the mic."
Right.
So it's also going to be really cool.
Big Miz fan. I'm loving what Miz has been doing since that initial draft. He's really he's really regained himself. He's been a new life for himself in WWE, and I love the Miz.
And I thought he was going to go on a hiatus after having a child, and he's really just continued doing what he's doing. He doesn't have the Miz Taraj, so he's kind of just it's all him now. And which
worries me about Axel and Bo, because I'm like, what are they going to do with them now?
Right.
Because now they're just be another jobber tag team on Raw.
I have no idea, man.
Because Authors of Pain are there, they're going to just kill everybody.
Yeah. All right.
Weird place. All right, yeah, the Backlash on back. I mean, look, Backlash is a really bad pay-per-view. And if you got that as your free with subscription, I feel really bad for you.
Well, not only do I feel bad for you if that's what you got for the subscription, but man, to pitch that as the free pay-per-view and then have that kind of performance, that has to go up as one of the worst pay-per-views, I would say, in my recent memory, if not worse
than just most predictable.
I guess. Man, it
like
was just not good.
No real big shocks.
No, not at all.
And if there were shocks, it was the disappointing kind.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll see where we go from there. We have a few weeks until Money in the Bank, and then the season. Then the questions start happening of when will they cash in? When will they fail? Much like last year. SmackDown got both the briefcases last year, so you gotta imagine the Raw's getting one this year, right? At least one.
Well, and the thing is so are they making this one match for both brands?
I would assume so, because didn't they last year?
I thought last year. So the way
it was a SmackDown,
was a SmackDown only pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay. This might be a way then if they do the cross-brand stuff and do cross-brand Money in the Bank matches. This is how they could take somebody from Raw to SmackDown, or vice versa.
I agree. Yep.
Interesting.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I like Money in the Bank. Those matches are fun, and the idea of when will they cash in is always fun too. So I like this pay-per-view coming up, and it can't be any worse than Backlash. So
right.
Also, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 was announced, and again, just to piss me off, they use I. God damn it, people! It's IV.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Call of Duty Black Ops. I. Shit. Anyway, TakeOver Brooklyn is becoming their WrestleMania. Just as far as just the sheer scale of it.
Right.
And NXT is still by far the best thing WWE has going for it outside of Braun Strowman. So
NXT TakeOver. So like I know I haven't been on the podcast in a while, but when I did my simulcast of both NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania that weekend, man, TakeOver was the superior show, and not just because it was just so much fun. It pays their pay-per-views just pay more homage to the actual art of pro wrestling.
It feels like an indie show. It feels like a glorified indie show.
Yeah.
And people have a much better time in an intimate indie setting.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. Shall we get to any more wrestling stuff? You want to get to the video gaming world?
I got nothing on the wrestling side. I think it was a pretty low-key week. You know, had Backlash been better, then sure, but not really much.
Low-key big hog.
Yeah.
All right, video games. Some stuff happened in the world of video games. Let's discuss them.
Let's do.
Of course, don't forget, if you're in the chat either on Twitch or on Facebook Live and you have video game questions, shoot them, or wrestling questions, shoot them in chat, and we will we'll field a few if you feel so inclined. You want to start? Just want to go through your list here with your agenda that you have here?
No, you go however you want. I just put them together. I tried to put them in a balanced order, I suppose. So feel free to start at the top if you want.
The one of the most anticipated trailers came out this past week is Red Dead Redemption 2 got a new trailer.
Yep.
I got excited for this. I know, and we'll get to kind of your thoughts here because you did put some pretty good tweets out there. I really enjoyed this mainly because I was such a huge fan of the first RDR.
Sure. And
seeing John Marston, like seeing a young John Marston, and kind of seeing the seeds being planted for, the game that but of course this is 12 years before. This is like late 1800, 1899, 1889, something like that. So we are 12 years before the events of RDR 1.
Right.
And you see the building of the gang, and I know you didn't get a whole lot out of this, but it's just purely on a man, I can't wait. This is getting me going because of how much I loved the first game.
Sure. No. The thing is I thoroughly enjoy it. If you look over you can't really see it, but over my shoulder in one of the shelves there, I have the first game. I think I have like the Game of the Year edition with the Undead Nightmare and all that. And I can play it backwards compatible on my Xbox One. I, by all means, love the first game. I probably wasn't as over the top into it as, so to say, Dave was or you were back in the day. But, just in the end, the trailer didn't do a whole lot for me.
It's really because it's not really talking about gameplay. It's more about just laying out a cinematic story. It's basically a movie trailer.
Yeah.
But you do see glimpses of a New Orleans style city. You get
Sure.
to see, more melee combat than before. So it's showing, little bits, much like a GTA trailer would do.
Right.
It's just showing you more, gameplay mechanics, showing you new locations, kind of giving you an idea of what you're getting into. It's not necessarily a, hey, let's break this down. It's a, hey, we're still here. Let's show you some cool things, and
Yeah.
then,
It was very
but
cinematic heavy.
yeah,
It was a very cinematic heavy trailer. It very little on the gameplay side. Didn't show anything. Well, and it could have been in game, but it didn't necessarily show like anything like what you would see if you were playing it right then and there. I would imagine maybe some cutscenes in there and stuff. But for me, it didn't absolutely nothing. I just thought it looks great. It actually looked really good. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic to look at when you put it in on an Xbox, PS4, or the Pro, or the Xbox One X. I'm sure it's going to look great. I don't have any doubts there.
I'm praying for a PC port at some point. Both of the first and second. Please give me a damn PC port.
It would make some sense if they did.
Because that GTA 5 PC port was really good.
Yeah, I just think that with this, there wasn't a whole lot there that really get me excited. I felt like it was just stuff that the first trailer was kind of similar in the sense that trailer got me more excited because I was like, wow, this is it looks cool, it's gonna be great. So I'm like, okay, let's show me something new. And while they did show new things, it just was like it was the same. It was just cinematic stuff. I wasn't getting a whole lot into gameplay and stuff, so I just didn't really feel it as much as I probably could have. But it is what it is. I just didn't get any excitement out of it.
Well, I didn't get any more excited because I'm at the peak. Like,
Sure.
basically, for me, all you need to do is just say Red Dead Redemption 2, sold, done, hype,
Yes.
done. You don't have to show me anything.
And with
done.
a lot
I'm
of
good.
with a lot of people, that is what you're gonna. You just put the name out there, and like I said when I tweeted about it, I was like, "This game's gonna sell millions. It ain't what I say isn't gonna matter. What it's gonna sell millions, gonna do really fantastic. Don't get me wrong." And you're also talking to a guy who I'm not huge into GTA. I've never been really big into GTA, so I play these games. I'm not like a fanatic about either one of them. It's just. It was missing something for me. It didn't have the hook for me. But you know what? Who am I? Like I said, it's going to sell millions and do great. So that's all it's going to matter for it in the end. And I actually hope it does well. I really do hope it does well.
Oh, I'm guaranteeing it will do well.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing well, the biggest game on the planet right now, Fortnite.
Holy moly.
Basically, all of IGN's coverage is Fortnite.
Almost everything that's being covered is Fortnite at this point.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm like, am I getting sick of this? I mean, I play it all the time, but I'm like, am I getting sick of this yet?
I played a ton in season 3, and I wish I would have played more from day one because I really did enjoy it even when I first played it, and it changed so much. But yeah, I'm kind of getting there with you. I'm like, am I starting to get sick of it? But then I jump into it, and I'm like, no, it's still a lot of fun.
Like, it's still pretty fun.
Yeah.
Especially more fun now that a new mode came out.
Oh boy!
In cross promotion with the biggest movie on the planet, Avengers: Infinity War, which I love, by the way.
Yeah, same here.
They get an Infinity Gauntlet crossover with Thanos. You actually get to play as Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and the Six Stones. I've not. You've actually said you've seen gameplay of this. So kind of dive into what actually the gameplay mechanics are.
So you dive in. It's a separate mode, so obviously if you just want to play your straight up, battle royale, you still can. Solos, duos, whatever. You dive in. This is very similar to when they did the Blitz mode, I think it was.
Okay.
Kind of a faster, you just had that option. So you dive in, and it is not hidden. It is not hidden whatsoever. The Infinity Gauntlet is somewhere on the map. It is beaming a bright gold beam all the way up through the sky. You know exactly where it's at on the map, and you basically, it kind of forces people to either come up with a couple game plans. One, you're going to go directly for it, which so is probably more than half the people.
Sure.
So good luck.
Yeah.
Or two, you're going to try to go and get as many resources as possible to try to survive and try to take him down in the end. Obviously, good luck, because in the beginning he was so powerful. They've already in the day nerfed him a little bit. It wasn't a huge nerf, but they just took his shield down a little bit. But what happens is you dive in. If you get the gauntlet, your character then transforms into Thanos.
Right, like he's the character model of Thanos.
Yes, looks character model very similar to the one in the movie. He then flies up into the sky, and you then skydive back down. You hit the ground, and then you have multiple powers. You don't have the ability to snap your fingers and just eliminate half of life.
Damn.
Which I thought would have been really cool because you know that's kind of part of it. But you shoot a purple beam that's super powerful. It takes people out like almost instantly. And then you can do some sort of giant jump that you come crashing down and pound into the ground, and it does damage. But you basically essentially have a full health bar and a full shield bar. The shield bar, it was just lowered by about 100 hit points. I can't remember what it's. I think it's 700.
Jesus.
It's pretty heavy. And then the health bar is, I don't know, 300. I don't remember. But the thing is that once you get it, you're instantly a one-man wrecking crew, and then you just play the game like normal from there.
Okay.
So either people have to gang up on you and take you out, or yeah.
Is it just a solo thing, or can you group up and do this? Or
it's solo, I believe.
Okay.
Solo only, yeah.
And do we know how long this event goes for?
Originally, I thought I heard it was just today, but I'm hearing that it could go on a little longer. So
okay.
I don't know the exact specifics, but the last I had heard it was just today. But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool looking crossover, and it's legit Thanos. It's not like a made up random version. It's legit Thanos from the movie.
I would like to think that if they put that much time into this whole thing, they wouldn't go 24 hours with it.
I would like to think so as well. I think Blitz mode was only out there for like a week, maybe just under. So even if they just do a week of it, that's still cool enough to like say, hey, we've got this in our back pocket. And it kind of just goes in hand with this season theme where it's kind of a superhero or alien theme kind of going on. So it works. But yeah, that's essentially the mode. Dive in, get the gauntlet, become Thanos, wreck fools from there, and that's pretty much it.
I'm trying to see if I can do a quick Google search for if people know how long this will be.
Right, and I can do the same. I can always pull it up and see if I can knock out and see if I can find something on it. But
while you do that, before we get to the meat of what Nintendo has been doing, let's quickly talk about Square Enix announced they'll have a E3 show this year.
Yes.
It'll be Monday, June 11th at 7 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock Central.
Yep. And I was going to put in here to kind of pimp our stuff out as well, but because we obviously are going to be doing things. So, but this just adds to our list of many showcases that we'll be covering here at Nerd Bacon.
Right. We're going to be doing live watch-alongs with you guys here on Facebook and Twitch.
Yes.
Of all the major E3 conferences. Hopefully Mixer.
Yeah.
Of us kind of MST3King our way over the press conferences and kind of making fun of people and giving our insight.
Yep. So Square Enix is going to have a showcase.
This means something big is coming, right? This means that if they announced that this thing kind of late, this you have to imagine like, okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to get announced, or FF7 remake is coming. Like,
even if it's not big, it's that they have stuff now. It's finally like, okay, things are going to actually come now, like Kingdom Hearts, for example.
Right, because they're not going to make a Square Enix event to announce a new Deus Ex. This is not what this is here for.
So my thought would be, without going into predictions, because that's going to be a whole other episode, by the way, so stay tuned for news on that.
Right, we're aiming for a couple weeks, and we'll do a full-on E3 prediction
like the end of the month. End of the month kind of thing. So, so long story short, I imagine Square Enix opens the show with Kingdom Hearts. You get a release date later this year. Finally going to happen. I would imagine they're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have to, you'd think, right? Because this is
you think so.
First time Square Enix has had a show in, was it 6 years? It's been a few years.
It's been a couple for sure.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
You have to think that there's some fruits of the labor of this deal with Marvel.
Yes, I was just going to say the Avengers game is probably going to be shown. I would not be surprised if this game is shown at the Marvel deal is either shown with at the Sony conference or the Microsoft conference, and then also reshown again here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Sure.
Plus other things, of course. When's Octopath Traveler? That's soon too, I think.
I think that's this. Is that this? It's not this month, is it?
I'd have to Google that one.
Me too.
But, so yeah, they've got things coming. So I think they've got enough meat there that they could do an hour show.
I really hope they announce like a Chrono Trigger 2 and just see Dave lose his goddamn mind.
You know what? The fact that I'm going to be able to be in person and see this that'd be what I, if they announce that in person or announce that and I'm in there in person able to see it with you guys, the reaction would be fantastic.
I think Dave will be out the rest of the E3 conference. He'll be crying in the corner.
Oh my goodness.
And we'll have to go up without him.
So Octopath Traveler is July 13th, so that's after E3. So you could imagine that they'd show that as well.
Sure.
So. So yeah, so Square Enix having a show Monday, June 11th. That's probably gonna be one of our busier days of E3.
Yeah, I think so.
Sony usually is Monday, so we've got EA is gonna be on Saturday, I believe. Is that right?
Saturday or I think it's Saturday. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Sunday's Microsoft and Bethesda. Is that right?
When's Ubisoft? Is that also Monday?
I want to say Monday is gonna be Square, Ubisoft or Ubisoft, how you pronounce it, and then Sony, I would imagine. So some big hitters on Monday. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting. So if you're in the chat, let us know what games you would like to see Square announce, because I mean, there's some really cool stuff out there.
I mean, if they're doing a full-on conference, you had to think something bigger than. I mean, they'll talk about the recently released Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
So they'll put some of that stuff out there. But yeah, it's. For me, if it's Kingdom Hearts 3, then their conference is a win.
Well, yeah, I don't think I would put. I mean, it's coming. Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting announced. I'd put anything on it at this point. It has to.
But we'll do a full-on prediction show in a few weeks, and then I'll ask Justin if he thinks it'll be this year. Because he thought Spider-Man was next year, and he's wrong.
I said that earlier in the year. I said I am switching that I believe it's this year, and it absolutely is. I was wrong.
And man, it looks really good, doesn't it?
Oh, I already pre-ordered it.
Spider-Man looks really good. That's September?
Yep.
September 9th, I want to say it was?
Yeah, I believe so.
Showing off some new costumes. They showed the Infinity Wars Iron Spider suit.
Yes.
And they showed the Punk Spider.
Yes.
I think there's still more to come. I think they said over a dozen different costumes in that game. So yeah, I'm getting more excited for Spider-Man.
I agree.
Anyway, 343 has listings up for 343 Industries, the Halo people.
Yes, 343 Industries.
They have listings up for jobs involved with the future of the Halo series. So obviously we know Halo's coming because, I mean, this trilogy has to be taken care of because we need a Halo 6, goddammit.
Yeah, the thought was that 343 is going to complete their trilogy.
And I really hope that's what they're working. I hope that this is the plan. This is for Halo 6, because that's the Halo game that I want right now. Halo Wars 2 came out, did not catch fire.
No.
If you want to do a Halo ODST style game for 5, okay, fine. But damn it,
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I don't think I want.
Well, because look at the backlash again, no pun intended, that Halo 5 got with you not playing as Master Chief for more than half the game. So you're really going to give us another game?
Gamers being upset about change? No.
Well, right. You're really going to give us another game where we don't play as Master Chief? So my thought is this. Everybody seems to think that you're going to get like a Halo Battle Royale this year. It seems like that's kind of a popular opinion that Halo Battle Royale's come. I think Halo is a perfect fit for a Battle Royale type game, but that's neither here nor there. I think Halo 6 is probably what they're working on. At this point, I went in and looked at the listings. I mean, it's everything from an environment designer, senior analyst, lead senior graphic designers. I mean, obviously they're ramping up for what I would imagine is Halo 6.
Right.
Okay, which the weird thing is, though, is that there's a little bit of time between Halo 5 and 6 then. If they're just now getting these job listings out there.
Well, you got to think that maybe there's some, like, towards the end of 5 Guardians and when Wars 2 came out, you got to imagine that some stuff for 6 was in the works.
Yes.
Like, you got to imagine they're not going with a clean slate right now. No. But yeah, I would not expect Halo 6 this year or even next year at this point.
No, you know what? I would think I'd be very surprised, and again, we won't get into our predictions now, but I'd be very surprised if Halo 6 makes any sort of showing at E3 this year.
Yeah.
I think if you do get a Halo thing, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a Halo Battle Royale mode into 5. Why not? Or, they already said they're doing the 4K update for the X Enhanced for the Master Chief Collection and getting that up and running. So obviously there's somebody with 343 is working on that. I just think at this point, I would not be surprised if Microsoft kind of keeps that in the back pocket for maybe when, hey, PS5 we know is starting to come. We can kind of put Halo in that time, kind of like
can counteract that with Halo 6.
They got a little bit of ammo in their back pocket.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, they'll probably announce that Spartan's making a return to Soul Calibur 6. Which game was that? Soul Calibur 4? 4 or 5 where you played Master Chief? Or am I thinking of a different game?
I would have to look.
I'm thinking of Dead or Alive, aren't I?
Yes, Master Chief.
Dead or Alive. I'm thinking of DOA 4.
I think you are correct.
Yeah, fact check me. I think it's Dead or Alive 4 that Spartan's in. Yes, it is. Okay. Anyway,
let's see.
How cool would it be to have John Spartan in John Spartan?
Dead or Alive 4.
Yeah, they have a Spartan John in Soul Calibur 6. Anyway. Nintendo. Nintendo is making waves again. So, where do we even begin with Nintendo's announcements this week? Let's say.
So let's kind of start. I guess we'll just start with the top part of it. All right?
Yeah. So Nintendo's much, I guess, anticipated, but much. The online services.
We knew. Okay, so the way I'd put it is this: we not only did us three know that this was coming. Not only has it been in the works, everybody's known that this year at some point, Nintendo was going to announce their online services. The details, whatever the online services entail, okay? So that's coming in September, all right? So the rumor started flying that we could see something in early May, and it was mentioned that we could see it on the day that it dropped. And then, of course, here we go. Nintendo drops all the details about their online services that you'll be able to, I think they said even enroll in later in May, but essentially...
Later on in May.
Yeah.
So I had to, sorry.
Essentially, Nintendo's online services will come later in September. I'm pulling up all the info on it with like the price points and all that, so I can kind of go through some details for you. But yeah, I mean, it was coming. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. So, and
I love the tweets you gave out, because a big thing about this is cloud saves.
Okay.
And how you had put out that, hey, Nintendo does not get a pass on this, because it's every other console and device already has this. Nintendo doing this is great. They're late to the party.
Yeah, no, and so the first thing is I don't want to be that cynical douchebag that's just like, oh my gosh. But I mean, everybody else did it already, or like, oh, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative Nancy at this point. I know that this is a good thing for Nintendo. Okay?
Yes, it is.
What Nintendo's doing here is a good thing. It's got me excited about some things and some moves that they're going to make going forward.
Right.
With that said, they are not the only company, because people are talking about cloud saves being hidden behind a paywall. They're not the only company that does that. If you have a PlayStation, you have to have PS Plus or whatever to be able to enable cloud saves. Okay.
If you have an iDevice, you have to give them money for more gig space, because it's 5 gig until you need to cough up some more money.
That's correct. So the thing is that what they are doing is good in the grand scheme of things. Before I even go into the details of my tweets or anything, what they're doing is a good thing. So Nintendo comes out, and I'll go in some details here. Nintendo comes out and announces their online services for online play. Essentially, if you're going to want to play certain games online like Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Tennis Aces, and Sushi Striker, The Way of the Sushido, you will need to have the online service from Nintendo. Nintendo Switch Online is what they're calling it. Okay.
That's how original.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch Online. Then with the Nintendo Switch Online, let's see. Let's go into some pricing. So pricing, 1 month is $3.99 US dollars. 3 months is $7.99. 12 months or a year is $19.99. That's way cheap.
That is stupid cheap compared to $60 for Xbox Live.
Yes.
Or I think it's 50 or 60 for Sony Online.
Yeah, and I heard somebody say it was like crackhead money cheap, so it was something I thought was funny, but it's way cheap, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you really want to get into the grand scheme of things, they did say a Nintendo account holder may invite up to 7 others, so it's 8 total, to join a family group. All members of the group will have access to a Nintendo Switch Online for a price of $34.99. So, for example,
it's still cheap.
If I wanted to say, hey, you guys pay me, I will pay for this $34.99 for 12 months, then you've got me, Dave, Jeff, 3 guys splitting $35 for Nintendo Switch Online, and we could still add in 5 more people. I mean, that's essentially what it is. I know it's kind of weaseling the system, but it's going to
happen.
Yeah, they have to. They know it's happening. Now,
yeah.
It's way cheap. Now, with it being cheap, there's some things that you kind of get with it. We talked about the cloud data backup. That was a big issue when the Switch first came out, because when people were having defective Switches and they'd send in their Switch, they'd lose their Zelda save file and cry about that. Now people are upset because of it being behind the paywall where the save data. But
Dave made a good point of people were complaining, like, I could back it up to memory cards. You had to buy the memory card, dumbass.
Yes. You had to buy the memory cards. My point, and this is where I'll kind of go off on what I said in the tweet. So essentially I said, don't get me wrong, I love Nintendo and I love my Switch. In fact, it's something, even when I was up in the hospital, I took it with me. Okay. But it is 2018. Okay. It's over a year from their launch, and we're just now getting cloud saves.
Yeah.
Okay. The system launched with no cloud saves. It's 2017. Other systems would have done that. Okay. Because this isn't new. This isn't groundbreaking. If other systems would have done this, they would have been scorned immediately. Let's look at Microsoft, who is easily probably the most scorned company of the 3. If they would have came out and said, we're going to give you all this stuff, but the cloud saves, we don't have the technology for cloud saves, which we know they did. We don't have that built in. They would have been scorned immediately, and they would have input that eventually, okay, or right away. Nintendo waits a year, whatever, and we've gotten great games from them over the last year.
Yes,
but they don't. In my mind, they don't get a pass because it's still taking them a year. And like I said, I'm going to get Nintendo Switch Online. It's so cheap. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm going to enjoy things like Mario Kart Online or the eventual Fortnite when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. But it's just the fact that they're adding it now. I'm kind of like, okay, well, if there's anything that the Switch did wrong, this is where I'll knock it. But it's just me being kind of like a nitpicky gamer, I guess.
I'm going to use mine to play Smash Brothers Online. So
Same here. Smash Brothers, which we have to imagine is going to drop on the same day, or if not close.
Definitely going to be the biggest thing for it. The biggest new game to come after the online service comes out. So
Yep. So then you get the other big things I wanted to mention is there is a Nintendo Switch online app. It enhances online experience. However,
and that's already out. People can download right now if they want to.
But the big thing was for $20 a year, if you so choose to do it on your own, you get the Nintendo Entertainment System - Nintendo Switch Online. In other words, you get 20 original Nintendo games that are added for online play for the first time ever, and more games added off and on. It's like Nintendo Flicks. Okay. Yeah. So you get 20 games in a month, or they add 20 games when they first start, 10 of which have been announced. And I can read those here shortly because I have them pulled up. The 20 games that they'll have, the cool things about them is you can play them together. Like say Jeff's in one area, I'm in another, 2 completely different cities. We can technically still play them together somehow, some way. We can also virtually pass the controller, so to say. So if we're playing Super Mario 3, I can just say, okay, I died, it's your turn. Somehow I can pass the controller. That's supposedly in there somehow, some way.
Okay.
So it says, play together even when you're far apart. And this is coming straight from the Nintendo Switch's, or Nintendo.com. With online play added to every classic game, you can compete or cooperate with online friends. Share your screen or pass the controller, depending on the game. With the Nintendo Switch Online smartphone app, you can also voice chat during your play sessions. So, yeah, it's, turn your Joy-Con sideways and you've got an old school controller. And then the 20 games that they've announced, or 10 of the 20 games they've announced are soccer, balloon fight, tennis, ice climber, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, Mario Bros, The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros, and Super Mario Bros. 3. Now,
so the ones you'd expect.
Essentially, I would say 5 or 6 of those, it's well worth the price of admission. So
keep in mind, you could be playing these games for free elsewhere, or at this point in people's lives, they should have these games in some capacity.
Right, I would agree. So
perhaps on a virtual console. Oh wait, segue. But before that, go Justin.
No, just you did the segue. I was going right there with you.
Were you okay? So this may sound like a virtual console, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say.
Nope.
Nintendo saying, nah, there will be no virtual console on the Switch Online service or the Switch period.
Right. Yeah, and so again, Dave couldn't be here. This is where David might go off on one of his old man rants. So I'm not going to do it for him, but what I will say is that Dave has a point here. It's not. They're not saying that, and he isn't the only one to make this point. I've done a little bit of research throughout the day, kind of listened to some different people write and talk about it. They're not saying that these classic games aren't coming.
Right.
They just are dropping the virtual console name.
Right.
That's gone. So it's like if when Xbox dropped Xbox Live Arcade. Didn't mean they weren't going to bring other games. They just dropped the name. So in some way, somehow, they could bring other classic games. And they will, because these 20 games that they first dropped, you might drop 10 of them and then 10 new ones come in.
Right.
Now, the key is that the people are saying, well, what about Super Nintendo games or Game Boy Advance games or Nintendo 64 games or whatever down the line, okay? And sure, GameCube games, for example. Those may come, but the $20 price point may also allow Nintendo to eventually come in and say, if you want this extra content, they could always stack like for $10 more a month, you get whatever. Just like, just like with Xbox or Sony, you have Games Pass, for example. For $10 a month, you get these games. Well, for $10 a month, you can get this collection of 64 and GameCube games. I'm not saying that's the way it's going to happen, but there is ways that they can do this.
Sure.
Okay. And it may not even be $10 a month. I'm just kind of spitballing with that. But
right. Yeah,
you got to think this isn't them dropping their old library. This is a way for Nintendo. It sucks for the consumer. It's a way for them to get away from the virtual console. So when people say, why have this Wii or this Wii U and all these virtual console games, why can't I bring them over to the Switch? It's because they dropped that title.
Well, and even if they do drop the whole concept, like at this point, guys, like we have to go forward in gaming. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I understand that stuff you buy in the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS, you want them all in one place. I get it for convenience sake. I get it.
Sure.
But again, over the years, you should have these games in some capacity somewhere.
And if you don't have them, you should have played them.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, Nintendo never said that they were coming. Nintendo never said that Virtual Console was going to be a thing on the Switch, ever.
Right.
We all assumed it was because it was Nintendo.
Yep.
They made no promises. They made no guarantees. They never hinted at a Virtual Console idea.
Right.
So for them to say, no, seriously, it's not coming, and then everybody get pissed about it, it's like, they never said that it was coming.
Exactly.
So I guess I understand that people get upset about petty things in life, depending on everything. But I guess I don't care about not having Virtual Console. I guess I don't mind it because I have these games elsewhere.
Sure.
I bought them probably way too many times.
Sure.
And I was never promised it to begin with.
No, right. It wasn't. This isn't an empty promise. This is nothing. It's just people have this built up. It's essentially a first world problem. We're sitting here talking about we're not getting a Virtual Console, but we're getting great games elsewhere on the Switch. So it's a way for them. Like I said, to maybe bring another layer into their online service. I would not be surprised if they did something like that. But you know what? If you're upset because you can't play Luigi's Mansion from the GameCube on your Switch, well, they never said they were bringing that. So, like you said, play it elsewhere, find it there. It's just, it sucks. Sure, I'd love to be able to have more games on my Switch, but we also understand that, Nintendo's got to make the right business decision, and we could come E3 and then be like I said, for this amount of money, we're going to be able to give you this library that's ever evolving and rotates just like Games Pass, for example.
When you look at it, for the Switch to play Wii U games, GameCube games, you have to put that emulation stuff in the Switch, which makes the price go up.
Yes.
You have to imagine then I'm trying to think of the right word for this, like translating these games from their home console to a Switch takes development time, effort, money from projects that could be used elsewhere. Like if my choices are, I get a cheaper Switch and I get Animal Crossing on my Switch faster, I'll take that all day over playing Mario RPG on my Switch. I can play that for free elsewhere. It's fine.
Sure.
Like, give me the new stuff. I know where to find the old stuff.
Right. Well, and then not only that, and it's just like we not only have played these games, but they've released the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic. These games are out there, like you said, in multiple capacities. If they do end up bringing it, one thing I thought was really interesting was I listened to Tim Geddes, who's a huge Nintendo fan, obviously with Kinda Funny, and he said that the original Nintendo games are not emulated. So however they did it, they're not emulations, but they're not just like an emulated 4x3 just thrown on there. They're done the right way. So it obviously takes Nintendo resources and time. So
right.
Do I really now? Let's say they go through and they said, Ocarina of Time, it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, cool. I also have it elsewhere, but if I didn't, for those of you who are going to buy it, great. But how many times is too many times to buy a game? How many times have you bought Super Nintendo or Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario? How many times have you bought Super Mario 3, for example?
Yeah.
So, but you know what? What's old is new again. You're seeing a lot of collections. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Mega Man. A lot of that stuff's coming because, people, it's becoming popular.
What's old is new again.
Yes. Yep.
And again, this doesn't mean that old games aren't coming to the Switch. They obviously are. They said it. They said it as much. So
right.
We'll just see what. And I think their priority should be making sure the online service is worth the $20.
Well, and that's just it. So
and make because the stuff you were saying there. Hey, you could play online games. I can do it now for free. Why should I pay $20 for it now?
Exactly.
So but aside, cloud save for $20, not worth it.
Well,
but if it's playing older games, I can find incentive. But give me a reason to want to give you $20 a month. Besides, hey, you better, or else your games don't work.
Well, and that's just it. So you're telling me you're going to have me pay $20 to play? For example, I play a ton of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online, and you're telling me I got to pay $20 a year to play that online? All right, cool. I'll buy it. So I'll pay for it. But if I notice that it's just as terrible as an online service as it was playing Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U.
Oh, that never got good.
And you know what? I liked playing the game, but I couldn't play it online.
Nope.
Even with my own friends who were just blocks away.
Yeah.
So if it's not a good online service, that's where they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. So they've got to make sure that that's the top priority, that it works when it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll pay $20 if their servers work, but
sure.
Right now with Splatoon 2, I've had no problems. Mario Kart 8, I've had no problems.
No.
So I'm feeling okay. Smash Brothers will be the bar. Smash Brothers will be the game that could either set that server on fire, or prove that Nintendo could actually know what they're talking about.
I think and you got to think between Smash Brothers and the eventual Fortnite on Switch, those two games are going to bring a lot of players that are going to want to be playing on the servers. And if this money is being put to the right resources, then great. But if it fails out of the gate, which a lot of technology right now, new games nowadays, they come out, a lot of times they stumble out of the gate. It's not uncommon. If it does that, that's what's going to shoot them in the foot. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to make it right, but They have to hit this in stride right out the gate. They have to.
I would love if they did something where if you have online services, you can get like a discount on games in the eShop. If they can do like you have like a 10% discount site wide, like a Humble Bundle does.
Yeah, you see that with sometimes, for example, with Xbox Live, you'll see like you get a gold discount, like you get like because whatever reason this game's 30% off because you have gold, and if you didn't have gold, it wouldn't be.
Like I would be okay with that. I got the EA access. It's worth it because you get those discounts on games.
Yep.
I keep my Xbox Gold because I get free games and I get discounts on games. I get it. The Humble Bundle subscription I have has paid itself over time and time again because I get 10% off of games.
Yep.
And I get free games. It's great. So hopefully Nintendo follows that path, but we shall see. It'd be kind of a don't want to say make or break, but a very important moment in the life of Nintendo and the Switch.
Right, especially right now with it. And, Dave will probably shoot me for saying this, but you just had you're just having Donkey Kong come out on the Switch. And before that was Bayonetta. The Bayonetta games that came out on the Switch. But it's been a little quieter to start the year for the Nintendo Switch, especially comparing it to last year, and that's okay.
Yep.
But when they go into E3, you have to imagine that the second half of the year is going to be big for the Nintendo Switch. And they have to make it right.
We're going to get Hyrule Warriors here in about 10 days. Yeah. So that will definitely be a good little punch in there. Plus Mario Tennis is coming out soon, so they're going to start getting games out there. But yeah, E3 will be very telling for Nintendo as well. And this is kind of this is the first full year since Switch has come out, so we shall see kind of a State of the Union, if you will.
Yes. Yep.
So interesting there. That's kind of the big stuff video game wise that I had. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add to the end of the show here.
No, I mean, when I put the agenda together, that was pretty much it. It's starting to gear up. You can start to feel that it's gearing up going forward. The hype around E3's what, 35-ish days away, something like that.
Yep.
So the hype is becoming more and more real. But no, I mean, other than that, I mean, you guys have hit it pretty much what we had. So
I will say, and kind of wrap things up here. I'll be once we're done with the podcast here, I'll be playing some of the Infinity War mode over in Fortnite on the Jeff and Roth channel. Also worth mentioning, today is the day for the next Destiny 2 expansion, Warmind.
Yes, that's true.
Which they launched today. So I have the new campaign. New weapons and armor. You do get new Crucible maps. What they call Escalation Protocol. They're Horde mode. A new old planet. Going back to Mars.
Okay.
New and improved exotics. A new raid. And some new secrets. New strikes. Like it feels like a really big, meaty update that just came out today for Destiny 2 owners. So I'll be interested in checking that out.
I'll be interested to hear if that brings back how many people that brings back, because I know Destiny got hit pretty hard this year, especially when Monster Hunter came out, but even that has fallen pretty quick.
Yeah. So we'll check that out. Trying to see if I can pull up any quick news here that's worth mentioning. So I kind of like doing some quick little patch notes, if you will, here at the
I kind of put here, if there's any new releases, what we're playing, those kind of things. But no, I mean, there's not really any other news I can think of. I was trying to look real quick and see if I could find anything, but there is a really cool image that one of our viewers, Rayanne, she posted out there on her personal Facebook page, and I don't really have it. I don't have the ability to kind of share it, but I may post it on the Nerd Bacon Facebook page. And it's kind of like a red or blue pill kind of situation. You take one and the rest of the games disappear.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool. So I'm going to post that. So I wanted to give her a quick shout out because she posted that and it made me really think, like, man, which of these games? Because on one side you have Super Mario and the other side you have Sonic the Hedgehog, for example. One side you have Mortal Kombat. One side you have Street Fighter.
Oh, man. Why would you do that to me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So some people are like, oh, well, this color for sure. But then, but I'm like, oh, man, if you really dive deep, I had to count how many games on what side, do I play more of? And, Yeah, it's tough. Crash Bandicoot and the other side Spyro, for example.
Yep.
Let's see. Legend of Zelda on one side, Final Fantasy on the other. Pokemon on one side, Monster Hunter on the other. So I'm going to share
a nice
that.
little exercise, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to share that with everybody and kind of let people kind of do that. But I wanted to give her a shout out because she was the one that inspired that. So Rayanne, thank you if you're still watching. Appreciate that. And congratulations on getting married, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. It's a trap. No.
It's a trap. Don't do
trap.
it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, you're fine. If you have an Xbox One, Amazon's having a big digital sale right now.
Okay.
Monster Hunter World's on sale for $45. A Way Out is $20.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Assassin's Creed Origins $36.
Okay.
Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is down to $30.
I want to say there's a Wolfenstein and something else bundle on Xbox now too, I think.
I believe you're correct on that. Fallout 4, if you have Prime, it's $20.
Okay.
Resident Evil 7 is $22.50. Doom is $20. If you have Prime, Skyrim is $30. And I'm assuming that's the special Super Duper edition.
Okay.
And Life is Strange Before the Storm is $10. And there's some other big deals. So if you have, these are all digital codes for Xbox One games. If you have an Xbox One and want digital games, there's a big sale on Amazon right now. I think it's a one-day sale, so you should go check that out.
Clear up some hard drive space.
Yeah. They showed some gameplay from Beyond Good and Evil 2, some early gameplay for that.
Oh, if you didn't know, Game Informer's cover story in the month of June is for Days Gone. They're going to cover Days Gone. I would imagine a release date is in there.
I want to know more about that game.
So if you're interested in Days Gone for the Sony PlayStation or your PlayStation 4, whatever you want to call it, that is out there. Yeah, the big thing is E3. So they kind of pimped that a little bit. Like we said, later this month we'll have a real quick, or I shouldn't say real quick at all. It's probably going to be a lengthy discussion. Our entire podcast will be dedicated to it. So it'll probably be an earlier start time. Instead of 7, maybe like a 6 or 6:30 Central Time, and we'll go through all our predictions, our thoughts, and kind of get ourselves ramped up. E3 starts, the first one starts, was it June 9th is EA?
That's Saturday's EA, yep.
So, again, stay tuned to Facebook, Twitch, and Mixer. I'm going to hopefully be getting some things geared up to kind of help us get on Mixer as well, because I like Mixer so far. And really just kind of, like you said, kind of do some simulcast with the streams and kind of talk about it and give our live reaction. We did some last year and had some really good positive reactions, especially when Metroid Prime 4 was announced.
Yeah.
That was a big moment for us. So
yeah, hey, we're a month away from E3. We are 3 months away from going to Las Vegas for Evo.
That's right. We were just talking about that today.
Yep, we're getting our travel plans all ready to get booked in here and figure out pricings on hotel and airfare and all that, because boys and girls, we're going to Evo in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that.
Yep.
I can't wait to move to get all this shit into a different apartment. Sell down for a year.
That would be nice.
What was your question?
No, I was just going to say, and by that time, that's the beginning of August, we should know more on a lot of stuff. You got to think with E3 coming, we got a lot of Smash Brothers hype and
hopefully we'll be able to play a build of that there. I'm hoping they'll have a early build of Smash there at Evo. Also, we probably all will have played some BlazBlue Cross Tag at some point.
You got to imagine that if it's the beginning of August and it's there and it's coming out in September, it's going to be pretty close to
Smash. Yeah,
pretty final. Pretty close to a final build, so
if that's the case, if it's coming out in September and August,
if it is,
a build, yep. So,
all right.
Hopefully, we'll start getting some emails in from developers by interviews set up for Evo, so that'd be interesting cool to check that out.
Yep.
Like I said, if you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Roth and at twitch.tv/Jeff Roth, we'll be playing some Fortnite tonight. Check out the new mode. Other than that, I keep playing God of War and really loving it.
Okay,
so that's good.
Cool.
Playing some Counter. I've been bit by the Counter-Strike bug all of a sudden recently, so that's always good.
Oh, what's old is new again.
Exactly.
See?
So no, Justin, you've been busy with the baby, but have you had a chance to play anything as of late?
Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit. God of War, I started. I was gonna stream a little bit this last week. It's been tough, kind of figuring out the logistics of baby and streaming, but it's coming. Tonight was kind of the first step of getting back into the video game realm. So, but I've played a little bit of God of War. Holy crap!
Yeah, I know, right? That game is pretty damn good, huh?
And it's not easy.
Nope.
I'm playing on the next to hardest difficulty.
Okay.
I tend to do that to myself quite often, where I'll play on the almost hardest difficulty just the first time through, and eventually I'm good enough at it where it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that game's not easy, and it's a lot of fun, and it looks fantastic on a PS4 Pro.
I bet.
But even then, the one downfall I'd say is there's a performance mode, and then there's two modes. I can't remember the two different like visuals.
There's resolution and performance. There's look better or run better.
Yeah, go with run better even on it if you have a PS4 Pro. You don't run into a lot of hiccups, but it just looks and you notice like in one I think you get 4K and the other one you get 60 frames per second. It's kind of what it looks at. Go with the 60 frames. It makes a huge difference when you've got 90 different enemies on the screen. So
frames make games.
Yep. I am. Let's see. I'm gonna be getting back into writing some reviews. I have to get some reviews written. So I've played a little bit more of MLB The Show 18. There's been some kinks, so my review should be coming soon for that. I was also right before the baby was coming, was starting to work my way towards my third Crash Bandicoot Platinum, because I want to platinum that with my review, and then gear up towards getting Spyro, because that's coming soon too.
It's coming soon.
Very soon.
Of course, you can follow him at Level Up Justin on Twitter.
Yes.
I believe you're also going to be on the Mixer.
Yeah, so Level Up Justin on Twitter, Level Up Justin on Instagram, because that's always cool if you do it for the gram. And then Level Up Justin on Mixer, because I've kind of migrated over, sorry Twitch, to try to just branch out a little bit and try something new. So yeah, it's Level Up Justin pretty much anywhere you can think of.
And pretty much Jeff Roth anywhere you think of, including Twitch and also Twitter. And don't forget to stay here to Nerd Bacon on Twitch, because we have a bunch of people that stream on this very channel, and Justin and I are going to be doing that as well. And this is going to be your home for all things E3 when that comes out next month. Is this Twitch channel and Mixer and Facebook Live, and of course NerdBacon.com. You can get all the latest written news from us, latest videos from us, and some like-minded gamers, a big community of awesome gamers who contribute to the site.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say before we go home?
Yeah, just
get the go-home signal.
Follow NerdBacon.com, or follow NerdBacon on all the social medias. NerdBacon.com is obviously where it's at as well. You're going to also want to make sure that you follow. I'm going to give Dave a little shout. Follow Dave the Watchman on Twitter. And with nerdbacon.com, he is working his behind off. I know he's got a lot of stuff. He's playing, doing a little bit of moving action right now, like we said, but he's doing a lot on the behind the scenes stuff and helping us gear up for E3. So thank you, Dave, and hope to see you back next week.
Yeah, without the Watchmen, we would not be able to do E3 the way we're going to do it. So, and he's the catalyst behind getting all that stuff together. We're just pawns in his game.
That's right.
We're here for comic relief. He is there doing the work.
That is correct.
So, and to look pretty. He's very pretty.
Yes.
All right, let's take her home. So next week we'll be here with more of the wrestling news and the video gaming news, because it'll happen every week.
That's right.
So stay tuned to the Level Up Larry podcast and NerdBacon.com for the latest. I am Jeff, a.k.a. Jeff Roth.
I am Justin, a.k.a. Level Up Justin.
And thank you for joining us on Twitch and Facebook Live. We will see you next time. Same bacon time, same bacon channel. Everybody game tasty, y'all, and you have a good night.
Thanks.